Hey, what's wrong with you, man? You ain't subscribed yet? IUIC Atlanta Burning 2.0. What you waiting on? Get it done, do it now.
Hey, get them clicks, get them likes, and subscribe. Do it now.
Now you say you Muslim. You grew up in that, or what happened?
I was staying up north, and they just took me, Muslim community took me in.
I
just converted like 2 years ago.
2 years ago. So what was it about it that drew you to worshiping that God?
Everything's so pure about it. Like, everything, I just believe it. It's just so believable.
Okay. Do you know that in the Quran, it tells you to read the scriptures? It tells you to follow what the prophets say, right?
I was Muslim, I used to read the Bible, but I only read the Proverbs.
The Proverbs, right? I'm gonna show you something. Get Leviticus 26:1. I'm gonna show you something that in the Quran, it tells you to follow the writings of Moses, right? Because they believe that Moses was a prophet. To follow the writing. This was one of the things that Moses wrote in his books. Go ahead.
Leviticus chapter 26 and verse 1. Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone.
Any who?
Image of stone.
Any what?
Image of stone.
Now over in Mecca, which by the way, was the largest slave port for our people. One of the largest slave ports of our people. What's there? What's in Mecca? Yes, sir.
They got the largest place to pray at.
What's it called?
I'm already know what time it is.
What's going on, brother? Yes, sir. What's it called out there? That giant stone.
Something took my tongue.
I got you. The Kaaba stone, right? It says, don't rear you up a graven image, an idol, any stone. Read.
In your land, to bow down unto it.
Now, when they go do the Hajj over in Mecca, what do they do when they go do the Hajj?
They go bald. Get all their hair.
Hold on. Now, in the Quran, it say, read the writings of Moses. He's a prophet. The Bible just said in the writings of Moses, don't do what they do in the Quran.
Bring it out. No.
Now, if I was reading a book that told me to read another book, and that book told me not to do what that book said, what book I'm supposed to follow now?
Bring it out. Teach.
Read that again, then get Isaiah 34:16.
Ye shall make you no idols, nor graven image, neither rear you up a standing image, neither shall ye set up any image of stone in your land, to bow down unto it, for I am the Lord your God.
Because your God is not found in that stone.
That's right.
Hold up. Give me Jeremiah, is it 2:20? Yeah, 2:27. You say to a stone, I am your, yeah, that's what I want. That's what I want. Because in the Bible, the Arabs today were called the Ishmaelites, right? They always had another God other than the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the God of the children of Israel, who we are. Watch this. Watch what ideologies came from being around them. Hold on.
Jeremiah chapter 2 and verse 27. Saying to a stock.
A stock is a stump of wood. We would take a piece of wood, carve it, and say to a stock, what?
Thou art my father.
Don't they do that with the Christian cross? They, oh, Father Jesus, God, oh. Right? Kissing the feet and all of that. What else they do?
And to a stone.
And to a what?
A stone.
What?
Thou hast brought me forth.
Don't y'all believe that Allah is within the stone and that Allah created everything? Wait a minute. So the book that the Quran is telling you to read is telling you all about that religion and how it ain't real.
Bring it out.
Come on.
For they have turned their back unto me and not their face. But in time of their trouble.
Here we go. But in the time of our trouble, the time of Black, Hispanic, Native American trouble, what's going to happen?
They will say, arise and save us.
Where was Allah when this was going on?
Oh, devil! Sooner or later, somewhere in the course of eternal justice, thou shalt answer for this sin. Sin. There is no sin. Man does how he pleases with his property.
Where was he? Why you let this happen to us? You mean to tell me we bowed down to him, not by choice, by the way, by force, because right here, you see these men right here? These are Arab slave traders.
Bring it out!
They were called Mohammedans. Muhammad was a slave camel driver for the Israelites, for the real Jews. They had 365 gods for every day of the year.
That's right.
When he couldn't read or write, so when he began to be a camel driver for us, that's when he got the idea to be monotheistic, mono meaning one. So what God did they choose? They chose the moon god, Allah. That's why their symbol is the crescent moon. You ever ask yourself, why is that symbol? Deuteronomy 4:19. You ever ask yourself that? What's up with the crescent moon, with the star and all of that? Because they chose that one God to be their God based on the fact that we, the Jews, have one God. Right. But when we did not want to convert to his religion or his doctrine, then they became our enemies. Right. Then they became against us. And then they began to sell us into slavery. Right. Mecca was the largest slave port, and slavery was abolished in like 1962, I believe. Because the reason why I know that date is because it was a couple of years later, or it might be off by a couple of years. It was a couple of years later, remember when Malcolm X took his trip to the Hajj? If he got there like 2 years prior, they would have slowed his ass in slavery.
That's right.
He would have been a slave, and it would have been legal in the land of in the land of Mecca. You can look it up. Watch this.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 and verse 19. And lest thou lift up thine eyes unto heaven.
Unto where?
Unto heaven.
Because the skies is classified as the heavens, right? Read.
Right. And when thou seest the sun.
The sun.
And the moon.
And the what?
And the moon.
Lord.
And the stars.
Read.
Even all the host of heaven shouldest be driven to worship them and serve them, which the Lord thy God hath divided unto all nations under the whole heaven.
So wait. In another book of the law of Moses, he's saying, don't be driven to look up in the sun, to look up at the sun, the moon, and the stars, and be driven to worship them.
That's right.
Because I am the Lord your God.
Right.
But you are now following a religion that does what? That bows down to a stone, that had us in slavery, because they had us in slavery longer than the white man did. The sub-Saharan slave trade was way longer than chattel slavery here in America.
Right.
But they don't teach us that. They would castrate us and make us eunuchs and have us serve as all types of slaves, and our women were sex slaves. That's the religion that you're currently in. And now you're following the sun, the moon, and the stars, albeit you may not even know it. All for the sake of what? Unity, right? Positivity. You saw, you was like, damn, it's pure. Job 4:14, 14 and 4. What it's become, the false, because there is a semblance of unity, I can't say that there's no unity, right? They do come together, y'all do, got you. But you have to know the origins of how and why this religion is even prevalent among black people.
That's right.
You understand? Watch this.
Job chapter 14 and verse 4.
Bring it out.
Who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean? Not one.
Who can make a pure religion out of a religion, first of all, that's idolatry. The Bible tells you it's idolatry. That book, the Quran, tells you to read this book, which explains that it's idolatry.
Right.
And then it was a slave religion that murdered millions of our peoples. You know they used to have us walking like 500 miles on foot. They said the bottom of our feet were non-existent in the Sahara Desert. That's what they were doing to our people. So who can bring a clean thing out of an unclean thing just because it has a form of unity to it? You know why? Because we lack identity. We have lost our true identity. So when the Israelites come out here and say, no, We're the children of Israel. No, get that book out of here. Get that book away from me. And follow the slave religion. The Christian church followed the slave religion of the white man. And the black man in jail or in the communities, they follow the slave religion of the Arabs. It's no difference. It's a slave idolatry religion. Read that. Read Ezekiel 34:16. What's going on, my brother? We going over a bunch of things. We done touched on a lot of stuff. But that's your partner? Y'all work together? Oh, for sure. So if you look on this sign right here, it has on the left side what you were reclassified as, American, Black, Haitian, West Indian. You are what your father is. Then on the right-hand side, it has your true nationality. It's Ramadan right now, right? Okay. So explain that to me. The significance of it to you.
It's about fasting, giving back, giving charity, praising God. Just staying pure.
Okay. Do y'all know how to fast? How do you fast?
I don't eat for 16 hours.
16 hours. Okay. So I'm not gonna dive too far into, the customs of Islam and all of that, because we're not supposed to be within it anyway. You understand? Like, that's not your people's religion.
That's right.
That's not your God's laws and commandments.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? But through loss of identity, you've latched onto an identity or to a custom that doesn't belong to you.
That's right.
Now, if it was innocent, I would let you have it, because black people like, yo, man, do your thing. But it comes with consequences.
Right.
And I keep picking this picture up, but guess what? Sandra Bland was a consequence.
That's right.
Tamir Rice was a consequence.
Right.
Sonia Massey, who she said to the cop, "I rebuke you," and shot her in the face. George Floyd, those are all consequences. Trump in office, that's a consequence. Deportation, DEI, jobs getting cut. That's all consequences.
Right.
So I can't just leave it where it's at. Read.
Isaiah chapter 34 and verse 16.
Bring it out.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read.
No, seek out of the Quran.
Seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. No one of these shall fail.
Because the Bible is full of prophecies that have become history.
That's right.
Slave ships, that was prophecy that became history.
Right.
Our brothers lingering around on the corner, not doing nothing, that was prophecy that became history.
Right.
The black woman running the household, that was prophecy that became history.
Right.
And guess what? I can show you. I want you to tell me, I even let you Google it. What's one prophecy in the Quran that has come to pass that you can think of off the top? Not one. I'm gonna help you out, because there aren't any.
Right.
Especially none that have to do with our people. None. Zero. They don't tell you who you are, why we're in the conditions that we're in. Nothing. They give you principles that were recited from the Bible.
Right.
The Quran means to recite. They say it means because there's 5 different recitations. No. He recited the laws of Moses.
That's right.
Why do you think y'all face Mecca when you pray? Get 1 Kings chapter 8. Now we're gonna break the strongholds today. You're gonna go back to your imam with some questions.
Right.
hey, pardon me, imam, but why everything we doing found in the Bible?
Get out.
And explain to me why I say to read the book, but the book say not to bow to a stone. But that's one of the most major milestones in my walk in this religion. Read that.
1 Kings.
Read your 48. 48.
Verse 48. And so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies which led them away captive, and pray unto thee toward their land.
Hold up. What's your name, brother? KB. I want you to listen up to this part. Read that again, because this is a prophecy of when we will be taken away out of our land into slavery. What would happen thereafter for us to repent and get back in God's good graces. But it's going to say something key. Read that.
and so return unto thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their enemies, which led them away captive.
Were we led away into slavery, KB?
See when we led to slavery?
Yes. Were we led away means taken. Were we taken away into slavery?
In my opinion, you couldn't stop slavery.
Right, because God said it was going to happen to us for breaking his commandments.
Yeah,
You're damn right we couldn't stop it. So led away don't mean by choice. It means led away. That's what led away goes into. So were we led away into slavery? Yes or no? KB, you're not disagreeing with me. You're disagreeing with world history if you say no.
That's right.
Or if you don't believe it. Read that again.
Which led them away captive and pray unto thee toward their land.
Toward where?
Their land.
Where do the Muslims get it from?
Their land.
So why do y'all think y'all face Mecca when y'all pray? Because the Israelites did it first.
Right.
Muhammad learned it from us.
Right.
Whatever land we found ourselves in, we always prayed towards Jerusalem.
That's right.
That makes sense? So which one is the right religion? Because they say, oh, because the Bible has been retranslated and we have the purest writings that our book is the one. Your book came 600 years after the construction of the Bible.
Get out.
And it tells you to read our book.
That's right.
It says, seek ye out of the book of the Lord and read. Go back. No one of these shall fail. Let's go back. Do you have any questions? Okay. Because we have to put away the what's the best way to put it? We have to put away the results of our enslavement. You understand what I'm saying? We got to put away the results of our enslavement. Getting high is a result, big bro. Listen to me. Getting high is a result of our enslavement.
That's right.
Because we never fully were healed from it, were we? The white man, he get all type of reparations for the Holocaust.
Right.
Shit, when the towers fell, he got all types of therapy.
Right.
He tell you never forget. September 11th, never forget, right? What about the 400 plus years to this day of destruction, oppression, and hatred that we face? We've never gotten any type of mental therapy for that, have we? No type of comfort for we, have we? So, and then we're placed in neighborhoods where we're not conditioned to thrive.
That's right.
We're conditioned to do what? We're not conditioned to thrive, Iran. We're conditioned to do what? Survive.
Bring it out.
If you look over there by the vacuum cleaner, it's a literal empty box of bullets. You think that's to protect somebody? You think that's to protect the neighborhood from outsiders trying to, or is it for a black man and another black man?
Bring it out.
My brother pulled it earlier. Get Jose at 4-1. So all of the remnants of us in slavery, following another God, getting high, having a very short temper with our own people, having a white, I got to say it, having white Jesus tattooed on your chest.
Bring it out.
That is the remnants of a destroyed mind state, a destroyed people. Read that.
Hosea chapter 4 and verse 1. Hear the word of the Lord, ye children of Israel. For the Lord hath a controversy with the inhabitants of the land, because there is no truth.
There's no truth.
Nor mercy.
Nor mercy.
Nor knowledge of God in the land.
Nor knowledge of God. Because you think Allah is your God when we done picked it apart. He's not. He's not even a God.
Bring it out.
You understand? Let alone your God.
Bring it out.
Read on.
Verse 2. By swearing.
By swearing. I put that on God. On my kids. How often we hear that in the black community? And they be lying. Read.
And lying.
Why you think you go right after that? By swearing, by lying. Go ahead.
And killing.
And doing what?
And killing.
Who you think them bullets is for over there? Think for a white man? Hell no. It's for somebody look like you. Your road rage incident earlier, because you said if it was a dude, what would have happened? Bing, bop, boom. Pow. Read.
And stealing.
And stealing. In some communities, you don't even have to lock your door. You can leave the lights on, front door open. Hey, Bob, Can you do that in these neighborhoods over here?
Bring it out.
Can you leave your car door unlocked?
Teach.
Man, y'all looking at me like I done grew another head. Why y'all acting like I don't know what I'm talking about? Like the Bible don't know what it's talking about. Because some of y'all might be doing it. Read.
And committing adultery.
And committing adultery. You know that woman got a man. And she know you got somebody, but what y'all doing? Playing old 70s music. When you was born? Yeah.
43.
Yeah, playing some oldies. Playing some old school jams at the bar. Getting drunk together. Read on.
They break out and blood toucheth blood.
And what?
Blood toucheth blood.
I got one more thing to say about Islam. Listen, I'm from Philadelphia. Home of the Muslim black man. You understand me? There was a period of time, I'll never forget, it was like a crime ring going on. Every mugshot, beards down to here. You understand? All of them Muslim. All of them crime committers. You understand? Because a lot of times it's for protection in prison. You either get down or lay down. In one way or another. Brothers be, alhamdulillah. I ain't going out like that. You understand? A lot of that's happening in Chicago right now. A lot of our young men are doing what? Converting to Islam. Because what? That's what the OG's doing. That's what I'm doing. I don't want no problems. But really, we're still perpetuating the mental degradation of our people. We're not getting any closer to our God. We're not getting closer to our commandments. And guess what? Even though we might stand together at some times and look like we together, we dress together, we're not really together because we don't have God's laws.
What is a nation?
Nation is men leading by example. Nation is family. Nation is community. Nation is children with role models. Nation is unity. Nation is you.
And finally, my brethren, be strong in the Lord.